What have we got ourselves into? Welcome to Koh Rong, Sam Lo Em. Not the actual Koh Rong, but a different type of Koh Rong. A lot more quiet here. There's actually no roads here whatsoever. Quite beautiful. Left heavy. Oh!
One way to arrive.
That is one way to arrive. Welcome everybody to Sarasen Bay on Koh Rong, Sam Lo Em. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Here we are.
Good morning from Koh Rong, Sam Lo Em. We just had a breakfast here in the Sara Resort, where we are staying at the moment and are ready to explore Koh Rong, Sam Lo Em. We saw on a map that there's quite a few spots to check out for how small the island actually is, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. Now, right now you can see the tide is out, which seems to be the thing every single morning. The tide is relatively low here, and then sort of in the evening it goes all the way to kind of here, directly to where the signs are. Sometimes the signs are even standing in the water, so yeah, there's that. And please bear in mind at the moment it's rainy season here in Cambodia, so you can already see the clouds. There's a lot of rain and a lot of sort of thunder in the environment every single day, so yeah.
Where we are right now is Sarasen Bay, so we're on the east side of the island. The island is facing towards Sihanoukville, which is just over there in the distance. It's kind of covered right now because the sky is not too clear. Sihanoukville is a large casino style town that's basically run by Chinese people. It is in the kind of the southern tip, the southwesterly tip of Cambodia, and we are basically facing towards that direction right now. Sarasen Bay is a nice large bay, as you can see, plenty of boats and plenty of things happening in this bay, especially as the water comes in, and there's plenty of vegetation, plenty of growth all around. This particular bay in specific is quite developed in terms of restaurants, bars, cafes, resorts, etc. But it is still quite quiet right now. As it's the low season, there's not many people around at all. Right now it's roughly around 9 a.m. in the morning and no one's really out doing much. It's quite relaxed and the whole environment is very, very enjoyable as well. But we want to bring you kind of across and explore the island itself today and show you a couple of the interesting areas. This is our first time ever being here as well, so we have a lot to check out, and I've heard many mixed things about Koh Rong and the Koh Rong Islands, and in particular Koh Rong Sam Lo Em as well, so we're going to explore that today.
Now bear in mind that Koh Rong, the main island, is a little bit more of sort of like your backpacker scene, so there's a lot of sort of young people and a lot of party going on. Koh Rong Sam Lo Em seems to be the counter opposite of that, so it's very, very quiet on the island. As Luke already said, you have sort of resorts and restaurants and all of that jazz going on this bay, but other than that there is not that much on this island yet. It looks like they're currently building the streets, so yeah, that will tell you where Koh Rong Sam Lo Em is at in terms of development.
As soon as you basically take any turn away from Sarasen Bay in behind where the resorts are, literally in around 30 seconds of walking, you're met with this, quite literally nothing. This here is actually the only paved road that we have come across since we arrived here, and it is quite literally only around 50 to 100 meters long, and it stops just up here, and we'll show you that, exactly what that looks like just up here. At the end of this, it's dirt roads, and for the most part, it's dirt roads all over this island, which can make it a little bit difficult to traverse. Now, we inquired into booking an ATV, and this is just for transparency, just so you guys are aware. They're charging absolutely insane prices here for an ATV. It's like 50, we got quoted $50 an hour for an ATV, or around, they said they would do it for $150 or something for 5 hours if we wanted one. That's legitimately wild, just to be able to access something with wheels to get around the island. So I think what we're going to stick to is using our feet, but as you can see, the dirt here is reddish brown, and when it rains, which it's raining every day here, it turns into sort of a sludgy waterfall.
Yeah, exactly. We were thinking for like 2 minutes after we inquired about the quad prices, the ATV prices, to get a scooter. But I do think the second it starts raining, you cannot really go around the island with a scooter, because this just turns into one big puddle, one big waterfall as well. It sort of goes all the way down there. So yeah, even getting around with a scooter would not be necessarily so safe. So feet it is. It's all right though.
Best way to do it. Plus, it's easy enough here if you want to go for a walk. Obviously the roads are not built for vehicles yet, but it's not too bad if you have a decent pair of shoes and you have the will to walk a decent distance. Now keep in mind, this island lengthways is 9 kilometers long and width is around 4 kilometers wide. Now at the narrowest point, it's only 1 kilometer wide, and there's very few people here, that's for sure. There's hello, this is today.
Oh, you can buy pineapple.
You can buy some fruit here if you want, but like I said, the population of locals anyways, very, very low. There's a good few people that are working in the hotels and stuff like that, but for the most part what you're going to see here is white tourists coming from Europe, coming from America, places like that, Australia and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. It is definitely a tourist destination, but we wanted to come here and see, is it actually worth it? And so far, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, I think it's quite beautiful. The bay that we're staying in, even though it is low season and it's raining a lot, it's very peaceful, it's very laid back. You can just jump into a hammock, sit there, lie there for 12 hours reading a book. No one's going to bother you. People are not all over the beach trying to sell stuff to you like a lot of the other tourist destinations. And here, just have a look at this. We just walked now less than 5 minutes, literally 2-3 minutes away from our resort, and you're met with this big, beautiful, open nature. Now just in front of us here is actually a wood mill, from what it looks like. They're processing all this wood, and you can definitely feel on the island there is sort of a movement towards making it more accessible for the people that are visiting here. I'll show you guys now in a sec. You're going to see something very interesting. We tried to walk to the other side of the island yesterday and we got caught in a thunderstorm. That was fun. But just up ahead of us there's a very interesting area. It's sad in one way because of what it is, but on the other hand it's great to be able to see some effort going into connecting things like power and electricity to this beautiful island, because it's going to allow more people to come and experience this place. And just have a look at the beauty of this place too. It is so thick, forest in every direction.
It's very interesting too, when you walk along here you can hear something like walking in the bushes left and right at all times, so yeah, you kind of feel like you're never really alone regardless of how far into the forest you wander.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of animals here. Maybe snakes, I don't know. Scorpions, birds, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's quite
Monkeys maybe, I don't know.
it's quite a biodiverse place for sure, and the nature, even though what I'm going to show you now in a second, you're probably going to be like, wow, that's a lot of destruction. And it is, I'm not going to lie. When you see it, it's quite sort of jarring because there's not much done to it yet. But there's tons and tons of wildlife still here, and something very interesting as well about the waters surrounding the Koh Rong Islands. Naomi, you were saying yesterday.
I read it yesterday. This seems to be the very first marine protection project that Cambodia has started. So, and it also seems to have been not that long ago. So this island is now situated in marine protection area, which means that probably in the future there will be a lot more biodiversity coming back to the waters as well. And it's a very interesting diving and snorkeling spot too. Now, maybe not so much during rainy season, but for sure during dry season. Now, this is what I mean when I say it might be problematic to go through here with scooters.
Yeah.
Because I think you might get stuck pretty fast. This is sort of just like sand that is covered with water from yesterday's rain, I believe.
Yeah, yesterday's rain was pretty hectic.
You want to take the camera?
Oh yeah. You got it. Yeah, this is what it is, guys. Very straightforward. Just forest, dirt roads, sandy roads, and nothing much else going on. Especially once you leave the beach areas. And this is what we love. This is what we like to explore. It's not so often that we get to come to places like this, because a lot of times when we're making videos, we like to be around more densely populated areas where there's locals and you can understand things like local cuisine, local culture, meet people, they tell you about what's going on in their country and stuff like that. But every now and then, somewhere like this is very, very nice, because it gives you a little bit of a mental break, and sometimes you just don't want to be around people. And places like this is great. And this is exactly what I was talking about there just a minute ago. Have a look at this. So what seems to have happened here is they've basically rolled through an entire midsection. So they've went through this whole midsection of the island. It's not too long. I think it stretches for probably around 500 meters this way.
They did it they did it in width and also in length.
Yeah.
Just sort of once, but just because there's no mode of transportation other than boats right now, and I believe they might try and make this island a little bit more accessible for food deliveries, for scooters, for maybe cars, I don't know. Yeah. Which is sad in a way, but also maybe good for the people to profit off of tourism in the future.
Yes.
Don't know.
This is quite a lot of land, of forest, that has unfortunately been destroyed for the sake of tourism, which is quite horrible. But like I said, it's going to generate income for the local people here and for Cambodians that can come here and work, which that is a positive for sure. And it also, once things are connected here, is going to incentivize more people to visit.
And you can really see that on the left and the right side of the street there's like really thick rainforest, so I do believe that this was the only option sort of to actually build a road.
Yeah, 100%. Without something like this, it's very wide, that's the only thing that I'll say, is it's very wide, but without something like this, I don't think that there would have actually been a way of accessing the other parts of the island, unless you were to take a boat.
The guy was waving.
Unless you were to take a boat or you picked up a machete and just fucking cut your way through the forest manually, which would probably take you multiple days because
multiple days? Multiple years.
She thick. Forest is very, very thick here, and like we said, there's an untold amount of wildlife in those forests too. But anyways, enough jibber jabber. Let's bring you guys towards, we're on our way now to a place called Lazy Beach. But to get to it from where we are, you need to be the opposite of lazy, because we have a long walk ahead of us. But we should be there soon. So let's go.
And sweat.
To Lazy Beach. And sweat. But it is a beautiful view though. Just over here in the distance is the ocean. I think that's the southern end of the island, and now we're navigating kind of through the centre, and we're going to go over to the left side or towards the western side to Lazy Beach. Let's do it.
Now when we say early stages of development, we mean early stages of development. Again, here's the big future street, maybe. And this is the signage. But at least there is a sign. You know, you need to go into this thick forest in order to get to Lazy Beach. Whoopee. And not break your neck on the way, maybe. Let's go into the jungle. By the way, this entire island, with rainy season going on, feels a little bit like a free flight hall in the zoo. I keep saying that.
What's that?
Like the area in the zoo where you have like a tropical climate, like the hall, big halls with the birds that are flying.
Ah, yeah.
So like real,
you're in a big bird cage. Yeah.
Yeah, like a big bird hall, basically in Europe. So that's the climate, kind of. It's really hot and humid. Of course, it's rainy season, and you're in the jungle. So, ooh, what are these guys? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm nearly standing in it. They might be termites, something like that.
They look like termites. There's tons and tons of the mounds. I'm not sure what you would call them, but all over this island. There you go. There's the whole street.
There's so many of them that you can hear them walk. I can hear them walk standing here. Luke has one on his in his shoe, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, left and right. Here and there you can see the, or maybe over there, you can see the termite houses, basically. The little mounds here. And yeah, so it's probably, oh my god, they're everywhere.
They are literally everywhere.
I really hope that you can hear them. Oh my god. It's so strange to hear them walk, I don't know. They all of a sudden became personalities. They're also the size of personalities. Yeah, so this is the street that we have to walk down, street and path, sand through the jungle. It's really nice though because of how thick it is. Now maybe I saw a lot of other tourists wearing flip-flops on these types of streets. I wouldn't recommend you guys to wear flip-flops. Maybe just bring some trainers in case you are here, because you do not want to have a foot full of termites.
Yeah, there is snakes, 100% snakes, and a lot of different things that you definitely don't want to have flip-flops on while you're walking. Also, the whole street that we were just on, the whole street that was sort of cut through the forest, it's 90% of it is like sharp stones, so keep that in mind as well. And something that's very much worth touching on is there's absolutely no signal here. So have a look here, completely dead. So in terms of 4G, in terms of 3G, 2G, any G, there's nothing. So keep that in mind too. The only way that you're going to be able to have a connection at all here is dependent on the Wi-Fi, which you're going to have to research a little bit about first, because different hotels and different hostels, depending on where you stay, will have Wi-Fi or they won't have Wi-Fi. And have a look at this. So, seems to be blocked off. So this is the path that we're trying to follow down at the moment, and it looks like a tree or something has actually sort of caved in the way of where you're supposed to go, but I think that we can probably cut in around it. But yesterday there was incredibly heavy rain and plenty of thunder and lightning as well, and lightning is always going to hit the thing that's tallest. So I guess we just have to make our way into the jungle a bit.
Just and a little reroute though, it's okay.
Navigate ourselves around. Just have a listen to how beautiful and quiet this is here. Unbelievable.
That's the tree that came down.
Yeah, you can see there the tree that actually came down. So it looks like it was either hit by some lightning or it just fell, just sort of naturally came down, which can happen to a lot of trees sometimes, especially in heavy rainfall. The tree that might be not so strong will just snap and fall over. Wow, what a beautiful walk, what a beautiful trek that we're going on here. It's very, very serene everywhere, and like I said, this is exactly what Naomi and we needed every now and then. This, not too long ago we were in gigantic cities, places like China, Bangkok in Thailand. We love Bangkok, it's a massive city, we love that city so much, but wow, the traffic and the sheer volume of people just messes with your head sometimes. But here, nothing but peace and quiet.
I don't think there even is a car on this island.
No, I don't think there's any cars at all on this island whatsoever. Yet. I'm sure they, possibly because of how wide this road is, they might be planning to give access to cars, which would be a major letdown if that happened, to be honest, because I can't imagine having this and then having traffic and cars driving around here. It would do nothing but mess up this place, to be honest. I'm hoping for as long as possible that this will remain the way it is, to be honest.
Kind of crazy to think as well that every single island that we've probably ever been on that has cars at some stage looked like this, and somebody decided to build a street and probably eradicate a good bit of the local diversity. Unfortunately, I never thought of it like that, because obviously you never see this happening unless you go to the really, really early stage development type of places. Oh my god, it's again, we're walking through mud.
Yeah, it's still wet.
Everything is like really soft and wet underneath our feet. I can hear the ocean, so I suppose Lazy Beach might be there. Probably.
Somewhere in this direction, but I no longer see signs, so we're gonna just have to follow our ears and see where we end up.
Follow your instincts.
Yeah.
We are very, very close to Lazy Beach now. I believe Lazy Beach might just be down there. But here you can also see some little huts which don't really seem to be occupied. I'm not really sure. Maybe there's some sort of guest accommodation as well. But they look like they might not have been used in an extensive amount of time. No?
Yeah. They're definitely not being used. They're just kind of sitting there. This is a very beautiful looking beach.
Wow. Ooh, and on this side the beach is even red sand, like darker sand. On our side the beach is like very, very white, and we were wondering if that's maybe put there by human hands. This seems to be the normal color of the beach. Oh, nice, there are some people too. Not many though. I can see 3 people from here. Check this out. There's like a building over here in the distance. Maybe some cafe in the corner there. This is beautiful. There's like nearly no development on this side either. You saw the huts and the 2 little houses here. That seems to be it. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, this is a very, very stunning location for sure. I don't think I've ever seen. Wow. Yeah, I'm totally speechless to be honest. Over here is quite literally nothing. There's no development whatsoever. It is just pure, raw, unadulterated beach.
This would then probably be the weather side of the island as well, right?
Yeah, west side.
If there's bad weather coming in, it would probably hit from here.
100%. So the water here even is much more active, much more waves than it was in Saracen Bay where we just were. But well, I have to say this beach is a lot more beautiful than where we just were as well. It stretches for quite a bit down there, and there seems to be some kind of cottages down at the end, like a white cottage or so that's facing over. Other than that, you have like 1 or 2 wooden cottages here, and then basically nothing for the rest of the stretch. And we still have no network coverage here at all, and very, very dense rainforest cascading off in the distance. This is absolutely gorgeous.
I'm really wondering as well if that pier there in the distance is usable or not.
Yeah, it seems to be obviously quite shallow, and
oh, it might be. That might be why there's not much development on this side. If the pier isn't usable, the ferry is not going to stop here, and then it's kind of difficult to develop this side, obviously, which is good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this place is very surreal, very beautiful. There's dragonflies flying through the air. There's not much going on. There's not even a restaurant or a cafe or anything like that here. It's just beach, nature, beautiful. Based on this beach alone, I will tell you already, if you can, try and come and experience this side of the island 100%, because wow, I want to literally set up a tent and just not move from here for a while.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, because of how little signs there are on this island, it's quite difficult actually to find your way around here and there. We found a little map where it says down here that there's apparently a viewpoint and some stone carvings just close to Lazy Beach, but there's no signs saying this way to go to the viewpoint. So we are just walking down this way, which seems to lead into a lake. No, just joking. Again, it rained so much last night, so it's just kind of flooded here. But it's very, very interesting to be in this part of the island, because as you see, a lot of the trees here really look sort of Jurassic Park-esque, if you will. It's really kind of, it does really seem to be thick jungle, and then some people sort of built a few little houses in between, which is super nice. And I really think this is something that needs to be preserved for future generations to come, basically. Oh, over here you have a lot of tires and a little bit of development going on.
Big lake too.
Big lake too, yeah, but the lake seems to be man-made. It's sort of square.
Yeah, it was just cut. Probably actually to catch rainwater. That's the only way or idea that I can think, because they've just obviously during dry season they get pretty much no rainfall, and then I think for around 4 months of the rainy season it just gets pummeled with rain. And this could be a very smart way of conserving that water, or I could be totally wrong, it could be something totally different.
Yeah, that's another thing maybe to point out though, because of how little development there is here. There's no supermarkets, and we haven't found a market yet. I do imagine that in the fishing village in the other part of the island that there's some sort of a market going on, but there's no proper like supermarket. At least we haven't found one yet. Just sort of like smaller stores that are more like shacks. That certainly wasn't the right way. We just walked there and then realized it's for sure not the right way. The only thing that we found down there was about 2 million mosquitoes, and we did not bring the mosquito spray today, which is very, very intelligent.
You got absolutely annihilated. Quite literally just covered now in red rashes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We've been travelling now for a long time, but we still travel like we just left our house 2 days ago.
In all fairness though, we never properly had issues with mosquitoes other than maybe in Borneo, I want to say, but this island seems to be one of those places where you do need a mosquito spray at all times, and don't leave it in your house like we did.
Well, I'll tell you what guys, first impressions of Koh Rong San Loem. It is a beautiful place. We just ran into a decently sized group of monkeys. Wasn't expecting that. In terms of development, this here obviously is quite sad, because we just saw that group of monkeys that were making their way from one side of the forest to the other side of the forest, and typically obviously they would be just jumping between the trees, and it would be a lot better of an environment if this was not here. Then on the other hand, like I said before, the locals and the people that are going to get work out of the development from this, that's going to also help in one other way. So there's certainly pros and cons to this place, and I think a pro is that beach, Lazy Beach, was one of the nicest beaches I think we've ever seen.
100%.
Very natural and very much left be. The side that we're staying on in Saracen Bay is quite a bit more focused on resorts and things like that, which if you're into that sort of life, definitely come and check it out. But I think the next time that we come here, we're gonna try and stay on the opposite side.
Yeah, totally. It also seems like, remember I said that some of the huts seem to be a little bit abandoned. On the other side of the beach there were some huts that were actually inhabited, so you can book yourself into Lazy Beach. I'm not sure what that area is called or what the accommodation is called, but you can book yourself in there if you're maybe looking onto Google Maps or something like that. And yeah, it was kind of a little bit odd, a little bit sad to see all of the monkeys on the floor. Now I'm personally a type of person, I don't enjoy making contact with monkeys, and I usually prefer them like to be in the trees and to see them from a distance and not so up close if possible. And yeah, I don't know. I do enjoy Koh Rong Sam Loem a lot, but I just really hope that the future development of this island is going to be made in a way that incorporates the beautiful nature, because I feel like that is the part that is bringing tourists to this island, because there is this nature. If you just want to be on an island with a lot of development, you can also go to Koh Rong, or you can go to all of the other big islands like in other countries like Bali or whatever. So you don't really need to come here if you're just into development basically. So yeah, I really hope that future developments will be made in a sustainable way and not by taking away everything that this island has to offer, basically.
One final thing before we let you guys go. Be prepared and bring cash with you to this island. It's all over the internet. The information is very accessible. But when we arrived here, we immediately ran into a British girl that was stuck here with no cash. There's no ATMs on this island, so make sure when you're getting the ferry from Sihanoukville over here, get some cash. So we are here for 4 nights and we just took out around $200 or so in local currency just to have it. Even if you've already paid off your accommodation and you don't think you're going to need much, you will need cash in many circumstances. Not everywhere takes card, not everywhere has electricity here even, so get yourself to an ATM. Oh, and I also want to say we came here with a company called Buva C, and overall very, very smooth process. Book the tickets through camboticket.com, CAMBO ticket.com, and that is kind of what we've been doing the whole time so far here in Cambodia. We just use camboticket.com. It's not sponsored at all by them, but they are a very, very convenient place to book trains, ferries and buses pretty much all over Cambodia. So check out that website if you are stuck and wondering. Don't use 1-2-Go Asia because it is pretty much always more expensive, and it's kind of the go-to place when people don't know what to do when they're in Asia. But Cambo Ticket is the place that we've been using, and that's where you're going to find ferry tickets to get over here or to Koh Rong as well. $14 per person is what we paid one way, and then the same on the way back. So yeah, hope that information helps you guys out. But for now, my name's Luke.
My name's Naomi.
We are the Two Mad Explorers.
And this is your reminder to keep exploring.
See you guys in the next Cambodia adventure.
Akun for watching.
Akun.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.